Hello, my dear friends, and welcome back to our channel. I'm Sarah, and today I am joined by my good friend, John. Before we even get started, I have to tell you something funny. Just before recording, John sighed and said, Sarah, why is it that learning English can't be like eating a slice of pizza quick, delicious, and done in seconds? We both laughed because honestly, many people wish it could be that simple. But the truth is, learning English is more like caring for a little garden. You plant seeds, you water them every day, you wait patiently, and then suddenly, one morning you see the flowers bloom. And that is the beauty of the journey we want to share with you today. But before we dive in, let me gently remind you, 99.4% of people who watch our videos are not subscribed to the channel. Yes, you heard that right. If you're one of those friends, please take a moment to hit the subscribe button now. It doesn't cost anything. It helps us so much to keep creating these calm and inspiring conversations for you. All right, let's get started.
Thank you, Sarah. And yes, I do wish English was as easy as pizza. But you are absolutely right. It's a garden, a tree, a living thing that grows with time and care. And that's what makes it meaningful. Today, we want to talk honestly about how anyone, no matter their background, age, or experience, can learn English as they approach it with the right mindset. We will share practical steps, personal reflections, and even a few laughs along the way. So sit back, relax, maybe grab a cup of tea or coffee, and let's walk through this journey together.
When people come to me and ask, where do I begin with English? My answer is always, don't try to climb the whole mountain in one day. Start with one small step. One sentence, one habit. Many learners overwhelm themselves by buying huge grammar books or setting impossible goals. And after a week, they feel tired and give up. But imagine instead you just learn to say, "Good morning, how are you?" confidently, and you practice that with 3 people in a week. Suddenly, you've taken a real step. A step that feels doable and encouraging. The small steps add up, like bricks building a house. Don't underestimate their power.
I couldn't agree more. I've seen people who wanted to run before they could walk, and they quickly felt defeated. But when you begin with something small, like learning how to introduce yourself or how to ask for directions, you create a sense of success that fuels your motivation. It's like going to the gym. You don't start with the heaviest weights. You start light, and as your muscles grow, you naturally move forward. English works the same way. Every small effort you put in today becomes part of a strong foundation tomorrow.
Listening is such a gentle yet powerful way to absorb English. I always tell learners, don't force yourself to understand every single word in the beginning. Just let the sound of the language flow into your ears. Listen to podcasts, songs, TV shows, or even casual conversations. Even when you feel like nothing is happening, your brain is quietly connecting the dots. Think of a child before they ever speak. They spend months just listening to their parents, absorbing rhythm, tone, and melody. Adults can learn the same way if we let ourselves relax into the sounds instead of panicking over each word.
Exactly, Sarah. And I like to compare listening to sitting by the ocean. You don't try to count every wave or catch every drop of water. You just feel the rhythm and enjoy the sound. With English, the more you expose yourself to listening, the more your brain naturally starts to pick up words, phrases, and patterns. And the best part, you don't even need to be sitting at a desk. You can listen while cooking, walking, or relaxing in bed. It turns learning into a peaceful daily habit rather than a stressful task.
And now let's talk about speaking, which I know is the most terrifying part for many learners. People freeze because they think, what if I make mistakes? What if people laugh? But let me tell you something. Mistakes are the footprints of progress. Nobody learns to ride a bike without falling. Nobody learns to cook without burning a dish. And nobody learns to speak a new language without making mistakes. Instead of fearing them, celebrate them. Every mistake means you tried, and every try brings you closer to fluency. The goal is communication, not perfection.
I love that, Sarah, you're so right. Mistakes are not a sign of weakness, they are proof of courage. I always remind my students, babies don't wait to be perfect before they speak. They just start babbling. And guess what? The world doesn't laugh at them. We cheer them on. The same should happen with you. Speak, even if your grammar isn't perfect. Speak, even if your accent feels heavy. Over time, those rough edges will smooth out naturally. Confidence grows not from being perfect, but from daring to open your mouth and try.
One of the greatest secrets to learning English, or any skill, really is consistency. Imagine this: if you water a plant once a month, it will wither. But if you give it a little water every single day, it will grow strong and green. Learning English is the same. You don't need to study for 5 hours in one sitting and then take a long break. That only burns your energy. Instead, create a gentle routine that you can actually keep. Maybe 20 minutes in the morning when your mind is fresh, and another 20 minutes in the evening before bed. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You don't skip it because you know it's essential. Make English a daily ritual, something as natural as drinking water. Over time, this quiet habit becomes powerful, and you will look back one day, surprised by how far you've come.
That's so true, Sarah. I often tell people that success is not about intensity, it's about consistency. If you commit just a little bit of time every day, the compound effect will amaze you. Think about money saved in a bank account. Even if you save small coins, day after day, eventually it turns into a fortune. English works the same way. A little reading today, a short listening practice tomorrow, a small conversation the day after. These actions pile up quietly, and before you know it, you're fluent. The key is not to wait for motivation. Motivation comes and goes, but routine stays. Routine carries you forward even on days when you don't feel like trying.
Reading is another beautiful way to build your English world. And I don't mean reading huge, difficult novels that make you feel sleepy after 2 pages. Start with something small and meaningful. Children's books, short stories, or even simple news articles. The magic of reading is that it not only improves your vocabulary, but it also trains your mind to see the language in its natural structure. You begin to notice how sentences are formed, how words are connected, how ideas flow. Reading is like opening a window into another mind. You're not just learning English, you're learning how English speakers think. That's why I encourage people to read daily, even for 10 minutes. Because those minutes slowly rewire your brain into thinking in English.
I love what you said, Sarah, about reading being a window into another mind. It's so true. When I started reading short English stories, I realized something amazing. I was no longer just memorizing words. I was experiencing the language. The characters felt alive. The dialogues sounded real, and suddenly, English wasn't a subject I studied. It was a story I lived. That's the shift learners need. Don't treat English like a heavy textbook. Treat it like a friend telling you stories. Once you make that shift, reading becomes joy, not duty. And joy is the best fuel for learning.
Now let's talk about writing. Writing is like speaking, but on paper. And it gives you time to think, to pause, to express yourself without pressure. Many learners avoid writing because they fear their grammar isn't good enough. But the truth is, writing is where you practice safely. Nobody is standing in front of you waiting for an answer. You can write slowly, check your words, and improve over time. Start simple. Write a short diary entry in English every day. Just 3 or 4 sentences about what you did, what you felt, what you dreamed. Over weeks, those sentences grow into paragraphs, and those paragraphs become real stories. The more you write, the more confident you become in expressing yourself.
Yes, Sarah. And I want to add that writing helps you discover your own voice in English. When you write, you're not just repeating phrases you heard. You're creating your own sentences, your own style. It's like painting. Everyone uses the same colors, but no two paintings look the same. Your writing will carry your personality, your humor, your heart. And when you go back and read what you wrote weeks ago, you'll see your progress with your own eyes. That's powerful motivation because it's proof that your effort is working.
One of the biggest chains holding learners back is the fear of judgment. I've met people who understood English perfectly but never dared to speak because they're worried about others laughing at their accent or grammar. And that fear can paralyze you. But let me tell you something, people are not as focused on you as you think. Most people admire the courage it takes to learn a new language. And those who laugh? They are not your teachers, they are distractions. If you let them control you, you will remain silent forever. But if you let courage guide you, every word you speak becomes an act of freedom. English is not about impressing others. It's about giving yourself a new voice in the world.
I couldn't agree more. I remember when I first tried speaking English, I mispronounced the word beach in a way that made people laugh. At first, I felt so embarrassed I wanted to quit. But then I realized, so what if I make mistakes? At least I'm trying. And the people who laugh, they're not the ones walking this path with me. I improved faster because I gave myself permission to try. Learners need to understand, perfection is a trap. Courage is the real teacher.
English should not be a subject you lock inside a classroom. It should breathe with you in daily life. Label objects in your home. Write mirror, door, table on sticky notes. Change your phone's language settings to English. Talk to yourself while cooking. Now I cut the onions. Now I boil the water. It may feel silly at first, but it turns English into a living language around you. And once English becomes part of your environment, you stop seeing it as something foreign. It becomes your second skin.
Yes, Sarah, that's a powerful tip. I remember when I switched my phone to English. I struggled the first week, but soon it became natural. It forced me to see and use the language every single day. And talking to yourself, oh, that's a gem. Many learners wait for a partner to practice with. But the truth is, you are your best partner. You can practice anywhere, anytime, with no fear of judgment. When you make English a daily habit like this, fluency sneaks up on you without you even noticing.
Motivation is like the spark that lights the fire, but routine is the wood that keeps it burning. Many learners start with excitement, saying, I will study every day. But after 2 weeks, they feel tired and stop. That's why motivation alone is not enough. You need to connect English with something meaningful in your life. For example, imagine you want to travel abroad, study at a foreign university, or connect with people from around the world. Hold that dream in your heart and remind yourself of it daily. That dream becomes the anchor that pulls you forward when motivation feels weak.
That's so true. I once had a student who loved American movies. She used that passion as her motivation. Instead of seeing English as homework, she saw it as a bridge to enjoy her favorite films without subtitles. And because it mattered to her personally, she never gave up. Each learner must find their own reason, their personal fire. Without it, learning feels heavy. With it, learning feels like an adventure. And when passion meets discipline, nothing can stop you.
Learning English is not a sprint. It's a marathon. Too many learners expect results in a few weeks. And when it doesn't happen, they get frustrated. But language learning is like growing a tree. You plant the seed, you water it daily, and for months you may not see much happening. But beneath the soil, roots are forming, silently preparing for growth. And then one day, the green shoot appears. And you realize all your patience was worth it. That's why I always tell learners, don't measure your progress day by day. Measure it year by year. Be patient, and the results will come.
I love that metaphor of the tree, Sarah. It's so real. Patience is the secret ingredient most people forget. They want fast food results in a slow-cooked journey. But those who persist, Those who keep going even when progress feels invisible are the ones who win in the end. Persistence is power. If you fall, get up. If you miss a day, try again the next. The only way to truly fail in English is to quit. As long as you keep going, you are winning.
Mistakes are not enemies. They are teachers dressed in disguise. Each time you misspell a word or mispronounce a phrase, you receive a golden opportunity to learn. Imagine if children stopped trying to walk because they fell. Humanity would never stand. But children fall, cry, laugh, and try again until walking becomes natural. Adults must adopt the same mindset. When you see mistakes as lessons, you stop fearing them. You embrace them, knowing they are guiding you step by step to fluency.
Yes, Sarah. I always say mistakes are the tuition we pay for learning. And it's the cheapest tuition compared to the reward of fluency. Every mistake makes you stronger, sharper, more aware. In fact, I trust a learner who makes mistakes more than someone who stays silent. Because the one who tries is always closer to success. Don't let mistakes define you. Let them refine you.
So, my dear friends, as we come to the end of this calm and heart-to-heart conversation, remember this: English is not a wall you cannot climb. It is a journey you can walk step by step with patience, courage, and joy. Start small. Listen deeply. Speak boldly, read with curiosity, and write with honesty. Make English part of your daily life and let your dream be your guide. And most of all, don't give up when the road feels long. Every word you learn is a victory. Every mistake is progress. Every attempt is proof of your courage. And before we say goodbye, let me thank you from the bottom of my heart for spending this hour with us. If you found value here, please subscribe to our channel. Remember, 99.4% of people who watch still haven't subscribed. Maybe you are one of them. One click makes a big difference for us, and it allows us to keep bringing you inspiring conversations like this. Stay hopeful, stay consistent, and always believe you can learn English.
Beautifully said, Sarah. Friends, we hope this conversation touched your heart and gave you strength for your English journey. Learning a language is not just about words. It's about opening new doors in your life. Doors to opportunities, friendships, and dreams. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And until next time, stay motivated, stay patient, and never stop believing in yourself.